Hey folks, what's going on? This is your Shadow Stars coming at you folks with another video. Today's video can be broken up into two sections. First section, I'm going to be talking about something I saw when I visited the AMC Reddit, whatever subreddit. It's been quite some time since I visited it, and there was one topic I saw that, you know what, I just had to cover. The second portion, I'm going to be covering two videos from two separate YouTubers, folks in the AMC community, and just give you a live reaction. So, as you know, the deal with me, I I'll disclose once again for the people who keep on asking me and commenting. It's not like it doesn't seem like you're watching through the videos, but let me be clear. I hold no position in AMC. I hold no shares. I've got no stock. I'm not short, no shorting, no shares, no options, no calls, no puts, no straddles, no butterflies, nothing. I hold zero position in AMC and APE, let me be clear, and none of my family members hold AMC or APE. What I do in this channel, if you're brand new, what I do is, hey, I like to provide the facts. I like to show you folks, hey, what the facts are, what the context is. I try to shed light on, hey, if someone makes a point to this, I want to fact check them. Are they correct? Are they wrong? Is there something missing in their argument? That's what I try to do. And if they're right, I support them. As much as I point out folks who spread misinformation, hey, if you do a good job, I got no problems giving you props, and that's what I do. So without further ado, let's hop into the first topic. The first topic here, as I said, on the AMC stock Reddit, subreddit, whatever it's called, there's this person called some Reddit name 1010. Looks like an account that's 2 years old, quite a bit of comment karma, decent awardee karma. So looks like they're fairly active on Reddit. But hey, this is what they posted, and look at how many. But I guess is that upvotes? I've never been super savvy to what Reddit was, to be honest. I never really liked it. But they said, hey, Avatar 2 crushed at the box office, and the movie is one hell of an experience in the theater. Now ask yourself, why all the FUD articles after opening weekend? Why not report that the movie experience is officially back? Because shorts are screwed, and Q4 earnings should be, spicy? And obviously they have the bullish tag, and he asked, anyone else looking forward to Q4 earnings? Now, stuff like this, you can easily fact check, and this is something that I've been doing and covering on this channel. So without further ado, here's a source where I pull up a lot of the data. It's Box Office Mojo by IMDb Pro, a reputable source in the movie industry where you can get domestic box office gross, but also not just domestic, but also some international data too. So one thing to take a look at, Q4, the most recent quarter that just ended for 2022. I've stated this multiple times in my videos, but hey, look at what their gross was domestically in Q4 2022. 1.77 billion. That was less than what occurred a year ago in 2021, whereas 2.06 billion. Now, let's say that, hey, sure, 2022 less than 2021. But then let's see, how does Q4, how does that performance equate to what it did the previous quarter? Q3 was 1.92 billion. Q2 was 2.32 billion. Now I'm showing you the exact source of where I'm getting this information, so it's absolutely clear. For easier, to make it easier to see, what I did was I compiled all this information into an Excel spreadsheet. So this is basically the same data, 1.7 for Q4. less than Q3 2022, less than Q2 2022, less than same quarters or the same period in previous year of 2021. So this is just domestic box office, but hey, it's significantly down. No matter how you look at the data, it's just the numbers are the numbers. They don't lie. Now, people will always point out that, hey, Avatar crushed it at the box office. Well, let's take a look at it. So Avatar, everyone keeps on preaching, hey, look at that. Look at that worldwide figure. They say, oh, over 1.5 billion, 1.7 billion. It's going to hit 2 billion. Okay. Yeah, no doubt. Avatar doing great. It looks like it'll hit that 2 billion figure. Maybe it'll even beat it. It's been out for what? If I check it out domestically, it's been out for 25 days. So hey, let's say it has another 20 days. So if it has a 45-day theatrical release window, then hey, another 20 days. But you know what? Maybe it stays even longer. But nonetheless, it still has a couple days, 20 more days to go if it follows the 45-day window. And hey, maybe it breaks that 2 billion mark. That's good news. But good news for who? The important part to stress is, hey, look at what domestically it's doing and what it's doing internationally. What is the difference? Look at it. Domestic, about 30%. Internationally, almost 70%. It's doing far better internationally. But then you gotta look into it. Remember, I've covered this in other videos, but how many theaters does AMC have domestically in the US markets, and how many does it have internationally? What part of their revenue do they get domestically? What part is international? We can pull up the SEC filings and go through it. But right off the top of my head, it's somewhere in that 20% range for international, for what their revenue breakdown is for admission revenue. Sorry about that, folks. And what I did was, hey, look at the breakdown. They show you country by country what the opening was, what the total, what's the current gross. All Latin America, Asia Pacific, China, Europe, Middle East, Africa, domestic. You see it all. So what I did was, hey, once again, put that data into an Excel spreadsheet. Domestically, hey, we know that, hey, 521 mil. And we know that, hey, AMC gets a cut of that pie. They don't own every single theater in the US and the US markets. They own a percentage of it, so they'll get a cut of that pie. And don't forget that, hey, this is not pure profit. Box, the production studios, the movie production studios, they get a good chunk of it. Now let's take a look. This is what I pulled from AMC's SEC filings from their 10Q. This was from Q3, but hey, their international markets, they have theaters in the United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, Italy, Ireland, Portugal, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, and Saudi Arabia. So look, I pulled figures from Denmark, Finland, Germany, Italy, Norway, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, United Kingdom. The only one we don't have is Saudi Arabia. But hey, Saudi Arabia is not on this list either. So that's not factored into this total 1.7 billion figure. Or even this 1.2 international figure. But hey, let's sum up. What's the total of that, of those countries? And remember, AMC doesn't have a monopoly on all the theaters in all those selected countries here. They only own a portion of it. But nonetheless, do it here. What's the sum of these figures? 281 million. So they get a portion of 281. They get a portion of the 521 million. They get a portion of the 281 million. But also remember that, hey, this is earnings revenue from abroad, from international. So, hey, they might get hit with currency exchange issues, foreign exchange. You'll see those calculations in their 10Q. So nonetheless, hey, they get only a portion of this domestically, a portion of the international revenue. And remember, their figures, I pulled right here. For example, this is domestically. When they look at the domestic admissions revenue, for example, 417 million, look at their film exhibition costs. Their ticket profit from that, this is just strictly just from admissions revenue minus film exhibition costs, 205 million. That's their supposed quote unquote profit versus what percentage of that is from the total domestic box office. Box office of 1.9 billion, and hey, their profit percentage of the box office gross, 205 million of 1.9 billion, just over 10%. So they're not making much off of the ticket sales. It's the food and beverage, the concessions where they make the money. So you can scream and shout that, hey, look, Avatar 2 doing amazing, gonna do 2 billion, and oh hey, James Cameron's gonna push out Avatar 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. The bigger figure is, hey, they need to drive more foot traffic. They need to drive more people into the theaters and spend more on concessions. They need folks to pay more for a premium experience. So they need to buy the more expensive tickets, where I would guess that, hey, they have better margins as opposed to just a regular seat. If they do an IMAX seat, perhaps the margins are better. So that's just something I wanted to cover, that, hey, quarter four earnings, it's not going to be good. We know already, looking at that, because Q4 was 1.7 bill domestically. Just from domestic figures alone, it's far down from Q4 of last year, and it's down even from Q3. So you would expect easily that, hey, anywhere in the area of $200 to $300 million of cash burn, another net loss. And hey, that cash, that war chest that they had of 684 million, that's going to take a hit. Sure, the deal with Antera, that's going to help give a little bit of boost, that fresh equity, 110 mil from all that ape that was sold. But that's just merely a time. They just bought a little bit more time. If they're burning 300 million, anywhere from 2 to 300 million a quarter, if they raised additional 100, 200 mil, yeah, you've bought enough time for maybe a quarter, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. But you can't keep up the same rate of cash burn, not with the amount of cash that you have. You have to turn around your business model. You have to somehow stop this massive net loss. So that's all I wanted to cover about this. I showed you the figures, showed you from Box Office Mojo, where I'm getting all the data from, and hopefully that explains it well enough. One last thing. that I wanted to cover was, hey, look at the box office performance on the daily. We know that, hey, I said that, hey, this past weekend looks like theaters were doing a bit better because look, 31 million, 44 million, 28.6 million for the basically the almost like the first full weekend of January in 2023. Looks like they had a nice boost, especially now you had a new release of Megan. But hey, now you got the first day. After that weekend, you got that first real Monday outside of the big holiday boost and the top 10 gross. You're back into single digit millions, 7.8 million. And if you've been following my chart, my spreadsheet, remember that, hey, your average daily performance, you want to match that 15% projection increase. You want a 14.4 million every day. So it's not going to cut it with the 7.8 million. And once again, for the folks that are brand new, yes, I know that, hey, weekends are busy and the regular days, weekdays are much slower. Monday through Wednesday, slower. It'll slightly ramp up Thursday, and then obviously Friday, Saturday, Sunday are your big ones. So right now, 224 million for the month. We are 9 days in. We only covers through Monday so far, 9 days in. But hey, 9 days in, you're more than halfway through the figure of last year, same period. So that's still on a positive note. To hit your projection, that 15% growth, hey, you're just about halfway. You're at basically 50%, just 9 days in. So that is a positive sign. So it shows that, hey, there's growth occurring. But that doesn't mean that, hey, it'll be profitable. This is just lining up with what the CEOs have been saying on their Q3 earnings call. That's saying, hey, we're projecting anywhere from 15 to 25%, 75% to 80% of pre-pandemic levels. And remember that, hey, during pre-pandemic years, 2017, 2018, 2019, AMC was not profitable in 2 of those years. Sure, they had some one-time costs and stuff, but hey, you were only profitable for 1 year. And all you were able to earn in 1 year, 2018, 110 million. Look at how much money you're burning on a quarter. 200 to 300 million a quarter. But in pre-pandemic years, when the box office was absolutely booming, if we just look at inflation adjusted figures, 2018, that was the highest it's been in several years. Almost 12 billion, 11.89 billion. Yet that year, AMC was only able to turn 110 mil profit. The following year, 149 mil deficit. So that's that for the box office update and the basically kind of providing the context about Q4 earnings and Avatar. Now what I'm going to do is go to the second part, and I'm going to watch 2 YouTubers. I think I've covered them before, but the first one is Frankie Muhammad. Let's see, AMC. Adam Aaron knew he was going to screw over retail investors. Zealots want to cover it up. So just came out 22 minutes ago. So let's give it a watch.
What's up? This Frankie, man. Necessarily be factual. Don't let what I say in this video be the determining factor as to whether you should buy, sell, or hold a stock. I'm just an entertainer on YouTube. Check this out, man. Don't let, man, none of these content creators on YouTube and Twitter fool you. In my opinion, man, Adam Aaron, he knew he was going to be fucking over retail investors with what just took off in the past 4 months. And he know he fucking over retail investors right now. He know it. And the zealots, the people that support him, a lot of them They know he's screwing retail investors. They just got their own personal reasons and their own motives for them to try to help cover it up. And they don't want people to know what's going on.
Yeah. So what I've been doing recently is, hey, I've been calling out those grifters, those folks who's been pushing out a lot of misinformation, those who've been stating, oh, hey, here are the facts about AMC, but they're not really facts. Their statements aren't really able to be backed up by evidence, by real statistics. And I even classify this guy, Frankie Muhammad, as another one of those grifters. Because look, we can look at all his videos of AMC. Before, he was so always pushing, oh, short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze. We're going to make a lot of money, life changing money, etc. How long has he been making videos for? Oh, oops. He made his channel back in 2017 of June, and let's scroll down. When did he first start AMC videos? More than a year. What? Come on. Where is the first AMC video? AMC short squeeze of 2022. Since January 1st of 2022. So he's been doing it for 1 full year. He's been making these videos of how AMC is going to short squeeze. And he's been providing these folks with all this misinformation. But it's interesting that now suddenly he's going to call out the zealots. Hey, if he finally realized that, hey, the information that he was putting out was wrong, fine. He wants to call other people out so that he can help stop spread of the misinformation. Hey, good for you. My only question is, what took you so long?
See, you don't screw working class people out their money. You don't screw poor people out their money and wreck their portfolio.
Now, that's the thing. Did Adam Aaron force you to buy shares of his company? No. Did someone blackmail you, threaten you, and say that, hey, you have to buy this stock? No. You decided to, hey, open up make a brokerage account, set up an account with the broker, whatever broker you use, if it's payment for order flow or not, you decided to make that. You submitted the paperwork, you submitted your identification, your bank information, etc. You deposited money, and you decided to buy shares of a company. If you invested and you lost money, or you're theoretically holding on to a major loss, the person to blame, well, first of all, lies on you. You took the action to buy those shares. If you decided to listen to folks like him, where they don't fact check themselves, they don't verify their information, they don't they don't figure out where to get reputable information from, reliable information from. They are not referencing the SEC Edgar website to look at the 10Q, the 10Ks, the 8Ks, the 13Ds, the etc., the Form 4 filings. In one sense, yes, if you blindly trusted and followed folks like him, where you thought that they did their DD and they did their research, in the end, sure, you were misled by these folks, but they didn't force you, they didn't threaten you, coerce you into buying the stock. You did it. But for you to not double check what they're saying, that's where the problem is. You should have double checked. But let's see.
And turn around and let rich investment firms and 1%ers get the money.
No, this you seem to have. It's more like he has an issue with capitalism. The CEO isn't there to make sure that you profit off his stock. That's not what his job is. When you buy shares of Tesla, it's not Elon Musk's job for you to make money off Tesla stock. That's not his job. His job is to run the company, help run the company.
So you don't just do that. You see what I'm saying? Just so AMC can be profitable. You find another way for AMC to be profitable. You find another way for AMC to be successful. And you find another way, man, to meet your financial needs, Adam Aaron, instead of, man, just fucking over your shareholders. That's just my opinion. You see what I'm saying?
Now, one thing I will have to say that hey, Adam Aaron as a CEO, he's going to try to operate the company in a way that hey, the company doesn't basically crash upon itself. Basically, he wants to stop a situation where it goes bankrupt. So he'll do whatever he can to keep the company running. Now, you could have seen some of the issues in which the steps that he took running the company far back when he first joined back in 2016. You can see the acquisitions of all those movie theaters, the negotiations that took place, the amount of money he spent acquiring all those theaters, the amount of money spent to upgrade some of those theaters, the amount of bonuses, the amount of incentives, EIP, AIP, special bonuses, RSUs, PSUs, all that stuff. You could have seen that, hey, sure, a lot of these C level folks or executive level folks, yeah, they were there milking the thing. But their whole purpose was, hey, let's try to run the company. And you know what? Not all CEOs are super successful.
Saying, and see, for those that love Adam Aaron, they love him so much, and you care about him so much. If you want people to trust, and respect him, then why don't you tell him to stop fucking over retail investors? If he stops, cause see, we can see it. If he stops shitting on retail investors, you'll see more shareholders begin to trust him, like him, and respect him. But see, to me, Adam Aaron is like that Sly Fox. You see what I'm saying? He's real smooth, he's real crafty, and he's dishonest. But
No, no, he's not really dishonest. Everything he's been stating basically has been pretty clear. It's just if you didn't do the research, you didn't get the context, then you wouldn't know. So I'm gonna speed through next parts and let's see if there's anything else he really says.
this Adam Aaron and the Terra Capital, they business partners. You see what I'm saying? So they knew, man, exactly what was gonna go down. Man, in my opinion, when Adam Aaron dropped the ape share, he already knew, in my opinion, man, Ontario Capital was gonna short ape share. He already knew it. He already knew that that retail investors and apes was gonna lose money. He knew it was gonna wreck our portfolio, and he
As I said before, like he doesn't. His priority isn't to make sure that hey, your portfolio is green. That's not what his job is. And I'm sure Adam Aaron knew that hey, if Antera Capital was a company, a firm that owned some of AMC's debt, then being in the business for such a long time, either him or someone working under him should know that hey, how do these hedge funds, how do they hedge? How do they invest money? How do they make money? It's something that yeah, he probably knew. If not, someone under him that worked under him knew it and probably would have informed Adam Aaron.
already knew that Seem like, man, every time AMC got to make some money, our financial well-being always has to be sacrificed. Retail investors, man, we always are the one to get screwed. You see what I'm
That's why you need to stop investing in terribly run companies. If you don't invest in terribly run companies, you don't run into this type of situation. I mean, it's quite simple. You shouldn't invest your hard earned money on tinfoil hat conspiracy theories of some sort of MOAS. If you're going to invest based on that, then hey, you should realize that hey, there are significant risks associated with it. And that hey, that could be a once in a lifetime event. And that event occurred already. Well, let's see. Anything
saying?
else?
Risk killing the MOAS. Or if we have a squeeze, now AMC can drop more shares. And instead of the 1%ers got to get, instead of the 1%ers having to get their share from us, now they can get the shares, man, from AMC. See, these folks, man, I'm telling you, Adam Aaron, as well as as well as his zealots, as well as Antares Capital, they don't give a damn, man, about a MOAS. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. See, the zealots, Adam Aaron zealots, they not gonna come out and tell you,
Yeah, those hedge funds when they have their quants, their quantitative, their analysts, the folks that who crunch all the numbers, that do all the risk mitigations, that do all the analysis and check for the probabilities. Yeah, they're not folks that are hunting for MOASs, hunting for squeezes. That's not how they trade. But yeah, I think he had one other thing, one other video. But yeah, and he had a video saying that oh he's selling. It's hard to it's sad to see that hey, in one sense, I'm a bit torn that hey, I guess you're no longer for the supposed squeeze movement, and that's why you're selling. So if you're not with that movement anymore, then okay, I can understand the point where you're making this video. But if you're still with that movement and you choose to say you're selling, then aren't you kind of copping out, kind of in a sense? I don't know. I've always seen that. Hey, don't announce your departure. Don't tell folks that you're selling. And that's what I always hear from folks in the AMC community. Some folks, sorry. But yeah, not really too much to fact check on this guy to go over and stuff. Just a couple of key points there. But honestly, this guy's just as guilty. This guy was milking it. He was spreading misinformation. Yeah, sure, he's been saying, oh, it's not financial advice, but hey, he's been hyping it up for such a long time, saying that, oh, it's a great buy, it's a great buy, it's going to be generational wealth. Oh, you can make a lot of money. We're going to screw the hedge funds. We got this short squeeze, we got this MOAS. Snake oil salesman. Now we got this other guy, ScavengerStonks. He's still doing that, whatever that giveaway of hey, free month of some Discord server, and then you got to pay probably what was it, a couple bucks a month? What was it? 30-day free trial. What was the cost of it? Honestly, I don't even care. But you're charging for, you're going to say not financial advice, but then you choose to charge for the not financial advice. No, you're flat out. That's what it is grifting. I don't care if you say, oh, hey, it's a free 1 month giveaway. Just screams the same garbage that Atlas Trading was absolutely screwed over for, basically pumping and dumping stocks, basically using those folks that got suckered into those discords, having them pay membership fees as exit liquidity. You establish the position, you push that stock to the others, and they all buy. And then when the price goes up because everyone else is buying, you choose to sell and rake profit off of that. No, it's absolute garbage. But I'm gonna wrap up this video with a reaction to this guy. Something's about to break. Let's see what is going to break about AMC.
Guys, what is going on? I hope everyone's finally back. I've just been sleeping a lot, still day trading, but it's just been a crazy few days. Today, it's about 2 o'clock at the making of this video here. Ever seen in this play, which is a very bullish thing. We're green today. It kind of indicates that people aren't selling, which obviously we've known.
Because it's a green day, people aren't selling. How is that anywhere near factually correct? There's always people buying and selling a stock within the day. That's why you get the movement in the stock price. There's always buyers and there's always sellers. Could be more shares were bought than sold, okay. But hey, the stock price has been going down from 72 all the way down to the $4 level. You can say whatever, 5, 6 if you combine it with the value of ape, but nonetheless, it's still been going down. So you can't say no one's been selling.
But what's been causing the selling is the high frequency trading, right? Trading shares back and forth a million times a minute, and it's no surprise to anybody that that's, been kind of what they've been doing to manipulate the price down.
Okay, so you blame high frequency trading. How does that logic work? If high frequency trading is to blame for days where it's red, then do they suddenly decide to turn off the machine on the days it's green? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, I don't understand the reasoning, the logic behind it. Like, why would they suddenly decide to not high frequency trade? Why is suddenly one day green and one day red? Like, there's some issues with the logic.
Aside from many other things, but it's a nice thing to see that on such little volume that AMC is just trading sideways. It's a good thing. It kind of indicates to me that the spring is compressing, right? I made an analogy on Twitter. It's like a 500-pound person sitting on a stool that's only rated for 80 pounds. Like, you're one Big Mac away from that stool, exploding and something happening. So
how's that springing? That's gonna just crush the stool down. I'll give you a pass.
It's a very good thing, especially when we see, Avatar, big movies. We see IMAX is expanding. It's part.
Oh man, I just covered that stuff in the previous video. I talked about, hey, IMAX is not really a big deal. Bigums has been hyping it up, saying that, oh hey, the Saudi Arabia thing deal with IMAX, it's a big deal. It's gotta pop off. No, put some context on that.
Partnership with AMC theaters all across, all across the globe. We see Avatar just crushing it still.
Just covered it earlier in this video. Yeah, Avatar is crushing it, but how's that impact AMC when if you don't have those theaters in those countries where it's really doing well?
With revenue, and then we have a lot more movies coming out, so it's a pretty cool thing. And remember, beginning in 2023, we have a lot of good things coming for AMC, so feeling really good about it. Really good about it. Shit, incredible. I'm actually surprised that they released something like that, given all the knowledge that retail investors have now on how the corruption takes place. They still released a documentary showing what happened in 2008. Really,
I'm getting this whole thing of corruption, crime, and manipulation. The SEC is hiding it, and it's really getting old. Like, you need to stop recycling the same tinfoil hat theories that are based on no evidence.
A security, but that Bernie Madoff's firm never actually went out and purchased any of those securities. So not only do you have, billions of dollars that didn't actually impact the stock's price, you dollars in securities sold, not yet purchased, and it's been just doubling and tripling every year.
You guys, Scott Allen covered this well, but I mean, you need to understand GAAP. Generally accepted accounting principles, I believe it's called. You guys need to look at that. Generally accepted accounting principles. Yep, I just had to double check. That's how they're reporting their short positions. What's wrong with that's what they're supposed to do? What's wrong with that reporting? What's wrong with that value going up? As they're managing more and more assets every year, yeah, they're going to spend more and more money, hey, shorting and investing.
And truly, in my mind, I don't believe that if, Ken Griffin had to buy those, he would be able to even afford them, right? So that's basically, even though they had tips and whistleblowers and all these things coming into their office, they were too naive to do anything about it. And we're seeing the exact same thing take place today. And what else are we seeing? We're seeing the markets in a very, the markets are in a difficult time, right? Rate increases are going to keep occurring. And, the Ponzi scheme, like I said, only works when money keeps coming in. The money's not flowing in, right?
The Ponzi scheme, and you mentioned Bernie Madoff before. So, it's just like you're grabbing bits and pieces of stuff that occurred in the past. Yes, bad actors, but hey, you're only grabbing bits and pieces, not understanding the whole context, the whole situation, and you choose to take the most negative possible outcome, and then you try to fit it into your narrative to say, hey, yep, this is what's happening. That mischaracterization is absolutely terrible. But you know what? I'm going to go skip through a couple little bits
right
more.
Because they're going to have to cover. That's when insurance packages are going to kick in. Just a lot of things on the sidelines. The money's there. We've seen it in swaps. We've seen it all over the place, like selling off, and we're seeing selling off occurring right now. So when you go buy AMC, they're not actually delivering you AMC. They're just giving you AMC, never going out and buying it. So we're not even seeing the true price. Realistically speaking, we're not even seeing the true price of AMC right now, which is insane to even talk about. And
Was this more dark pool stuff? Route it through. Use a different broker. Route it through. If you're so paranoid, if you think that this is occurring, that hey, route it through a lit exchange. Then see what sort of bids and fills you get. See what happens. Hey, do you get the NBBO? Do you get that when you do it through those exchanges? You complain about payment for order flow brokers. You complain about dark pools. You talk about, hey, that they're suppressing the price action. No, all those claims are just merely statements saying that, hey, you don't understand how the market operates. You don't understand how buys and sells work. You don't understand the role that market makers play.
say, but it's the facts.
No, not the facts.
So it's bullish. I know that this play, even without a squeeze, is severely undervalued right now.
It's severely undervalued? How is that possible? This company is burning hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter. You're not turning a profit. Don't give me the garbage of EBITDA. Don't give me that. That's not really a good reflection of how this company is being run. Look at their total revenue. Look at their total operating costs. What is greater? Are your operating costs greater than your revenue? Yeah, that means you're burning money on top of the interest payments of all the mountain load of $5 billion plus you guys need to pay back. Your profit margins are very small on ticket sales. You need more concessions. But look at your attendance. Look at the foot traffic of folks coming through. Anywhere from basically 40 to 60 million. The first 3 quarters, 39 million up to 59 million. Pre-pandemic levels, what were you doing? Easily 80 to 90 million a quarter. 80 to 90 plus million a quarter. You're not getting the same amount of foot traffic.
So remember, it's a game of patience. I know people get angry and stuff, but it's a battle of patience. So things are working.
I wouldn't say battle of patience. Time is ticking. The company is burning hundreds of millions of dollars. Question is, are they able to turn this around, or are they able to have enough money in the war chest to wait for a time where, hey, they can finally turn this negative, this net loss, into a net profit? But what will be that cost? How much more money in their war chest do they need to have to wait until they can finally turn things around? Estimates are saying that, hey, we're probably thinking 2024, 2025 is when, hey, we go back to fully back to pre-pandemic levels. They're not expecting, as I said, Q3 call, both Cinemark, CNK, and AMC, both CEOs are saying that, hey, 75, 80% pre-pandemic, 15 to 25% growth this year in 2023. Still not up to the levels of pre-pandemic. So you're going to be burning money this year, basically. Are you going to have enough money to survive this year? Are you going to run out? If you're burning 200 plus million a quarter, how many quarters you got left based on 684 million? How much more dilution do you need? Don't forget your debt covenants. Remember, you got that 100 million liquidity you need to have.
Things are working out on our side. It's just a matter of time. So like I said, we're seeing the spring compress. I'm really excited to see, what the beginning.
It's just a real shame. This guy he's flat out just giving out misinformation. He's almost basically flat out lying. He's basically he is grifting. Look at it. He's trying to promote this Discord thing or whatever. Not financial advice. Look at, hey, he's got merch. But hey, I said before, maybe I'll give you a pass because you're saying that, hey, that profit goes to suicide awareness. I don't know. I'd love to see some documentation on that. Do you have a nonprofit set up? Do you have documentation? If you donate to this organization, will I be able to get a tax form generated so I can report it when I file my taxes? I don't know. But hey, that's where I'm going to end today's video. 2 parts. I went over that Reddit post, talked about this scavenger stocks, covered Frankie Muhammad. That's what I do here. I like to call out the misinformation. I like to provide context, provide facts, show you where I'm getting the information, show you my source. So that, hey, fact check me. Look at what I'm saying. Are my sources wrong? Am I misrepresenting the sources? Always, when you're listening to whatever person on any social media platform, double check them. Make sure that, hey, is what they're saying correct? Can that person show me where they're getting their information from? Is that reliable? Is that trustworthy? Does their argument make sense? Is it backed up by evidence, by real facts, by real stats? But yep, that's the end, folks. Thanks for the folks who made it to the very end. I appreciate it. I'd love it if you folks could please hit the like on my video, subscribe to the channel, share it with folks that you think need to see this, folks that will like the content. I'm just trying to provide context, to provide the real facts. Fact check, folks. Because I want to stop folks from drifting off of uninformed retail investors. What people like ScavengerStonks is doing is, hey, they're milking you folks. They're giving you false information. They're giving you wrong information. And they're grifting off. They're making money off of you. That shouldn't be acceptable. But hey, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, leave them down below in the comments. I'd love to engage on that. You disagree with something? I got no problems. Bring your facts. Show me your sources. Let's debate it like adults. We don't need people throwing tantrums, being super emotional, resorting to insults and ad hominem attacks. No, we don't need to do that. We don't need to stoop to that. I don't want to do that. We're all adults here. Let's talk out the facts. Let's discuss. Let's debate. Maybe I'm right. Maybe you're right. Maybe we find somewhere in the middle where we're both right. But let's share the data. Let's get the facts. Let's get the facts out. That's all it's all about. And that's the end, folks. Take care and have a good night. This is Shadow Stars. Peace.